Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, if you're in the United States, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Whenever I say Independence Day, I always think of that, the president, whatever he says in that movie Independence Day, and he's like, on this, our Independence Day. I always think of that line. Did you guys ever see that movie back in the day? Pretty good. I don't even have the light on. How can you even possibly see me in all this darkness? Okay, it is 1:32 a.m. and I just got up from a nap. I took I slept, what time did I go to bed? Like 10:30, and I got up at like 12:45. Rich is calling me. I just passed my husband on the way home because he was at a friend's house tonight. He and Sarah went over to a friend of theirs house and had dinner, and then they played some game called What's My Meme or something like that. And so we passed each other by, and so I got out of the car and gave him a kiss real quick because he's going home and going to bed. I wanted to take a nap. Let me tell you why. Because I am so excited that at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Stranger Things 3 comes on Netflix. Stranger Things is one of my favorite shows ever, and I am so excited to watch it. And I am going to sit on the front porch with my computer, and because Alex will be asleep, and I'm gonna try to watch 3 episodes tonight. I'm so excited. Oh my God, I can't wait. And so I was like, I'm gonna sleep and take a little nap, and then I am going to vlog, and then I'm gonna come home and watch Stranger Things. And then tomorrow, Alex and I, we're gonna go to the pool. We're planning on going to the pool. It rained this evening and was stormy and cloudy. It's supposed to be rainy and stormy and cloudy tomorrow, so I have a really hard time believing that we're gonna be going to the pool. So he'll probably sleep in and watch TV all day tomorrow, which means I'll watch more Stranger Things. I can't wait. And I'm hoping that it kind of spurns me into this whole kind of idea of watching Netflix again, because I've said on here, I want to get back into relaxing and watching my shows. And I had started Sabrina, and I was an episode in. I had restarted Sabrina, so I want to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the new one. And I'm almost 4 episodes into Girls Incarcerated, the 2nd season. I watched it tonight, a little bit before I lay down, and there's 4 or 5, 6, 10 other shows on Netflix that I want to watch right now. So if you guys have a must-see show on Netflix, let me know. Put it in the comment section below. I kind of prefer suspense kind of things. I wish a season of The Staircase or The Keepers or Making of a Murderer. I wish something like that was coming out this weekend that Alex and I could watch together. But I have some sobriety commitments on Friday that I have to do, and he has to work all day on Friday, and he also has meetings on Saturday with a little side thing that he does. So it's not like we're having this vacation weekend. Vacation, all I ever wanted. So I'm getting Alex is texting me like crazy. Hold on a second. So yeah, we're not gonna get to relax. We'll relax in the evenings, and of course on Sunday we'll relax. I literally just got 4 texts back to back from Alex. What is this about? I'm gonna pull in here to the IRC music lessons. Okay, so, well, I was going to save this, but I went today, and I was walking into Meijer. Well, let me show you. Okay, I bought Alex 2 succulent plants, because he loves succulents, so this is the first one. You guys can never see this when I show this. This is the first succulent plant, and then this is the second one. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's the second one. And it comes in this little box, and then that's the first one. So I was walking into Meijer today, and when I was walking in, now, you know, I've been like wanting to make my patio, like the front and the back, like really nice and have lots of plants and all that kind of stuff. Well, I haven't done it. And part of the problem is, you know, I was noticing when I was watching this back that there was like a haze around the bottom, and that's like this beanbag thing like coming forward, which drives me crazy. Sometimes I can see it. Part of the problem is that Tanya, Jean, and I used to, there was like this, what do you call it? This like farmer's market, but it wasn't really a farmer's market. They just sold plants, and it was always in the Marsh parking lot, which Marsh was sold. So Marsh supermarkets no longer exist. It was like, I don't know how local it was, but it was here in Indianapolis. It's like a Kroger. And, so they were sold. They don't exist anymore. And I think part of it is that the land, like the parking lot that this guy had his farmer's market on, was the Marsh supermarket. And I think since they're gone, I think he doesn't rent it from there anymore, or I don't know what. But I mean, literally for years, this guy had, oh, I should have shown you the other picture. This guy had this like these beautiful plants, okay? I mean, unbelievably beautiful plants. And they were colorful, and they were just absolutely gorgeous. And I was showing somebody this today. I was showing them like a picture of my walk from back in the day, and then like these flowers, because I have a picture of like Pee-Pee, and this, who is texting me like crazy? Alex knows I'm vlogging. I'm like, why are you texting me while I'm vlogging? So these like beautiful plants. Well, you could get like a big thing like this that would come in like a plastic or a wood container. I mean, a really nice container too, right? And it would have all different kinds of things in it. And when you bought them, they were beautiful and in really good condition. Because you know, like when you buy plants a lot, they're just not in great shape. And so then when you know, they were like 23, 25 bucks, I don't know, 24 bucks. And I would get like 4 of them, and they would last all summer. I would put like 2 out front and 2 out back, and they would last all summer, and they were gorgeous, right? And then I would also get like 2 ferns, 1 for the back and 1 for the front. And that was enough. I mean, we don't have that much space. Our place is rather small. Well, this place doesn't exist anymore. Tanya and I have tried to find this like farmer's market place where it exists, and we just can't find it. And I've been asking people, I'm like, do you know where you can get like really good plants, you know, from your front yard, like impatiens and things like that? And everybody's like, no, I don't know where. Well, everywhere I go, whether it's Walmart or Kroger or whatever, they have them. Even they'll have ferns, but the ferns look like half dead. They're not taken care of. They're not watered. They're not in good condition. And, you know, plants are expensive. If you buy 4 or 5 plants, you're looking at like $100 for a big plant, right? And I didn't want to buy a bunch of plants that were half dead. I wanted to have plants that were in good condition when I brought them home, so that they looked pretty. And the only other thing to do is to go to a nursery. But the thing with that is that at nurseries, they're really expensive, which, you know, it is what it is. And I'm no gardener. Like, I just want to bring it home, put it on the front porch, water it, you know, and have it be what it is. And so, anyway, so when I was going into Meijer today, they had these plants out front, and they had these orange ones that were like huge, and they were gorgeous, and they were like 2 different orange plants within like 1 basin, and they were $14.99. So I bought 2 of those. And then I bought some like pink impatiens, I think is what they're called. And I bought 1 of those. And they were all pretty good. I mean, all of them had like maybe like 1 like little deadhead thing on them, 2 of them. But by and large, the rest of them were pretty good. And then they had like mixed bundles of pots. And so I bought 2 of those. And I put 1 out front and 1 on back. So out back we have 3 plants, and then in front we have 2, plus the one that Sarah and her mom gave me, because Sarah and her mom gave me a lily plant that is absolutely gorgeous. So I brought those home. I watered those today. But when I was at Meijer, they have like a pretty extensive plant section, and Alex loves like little cactus and those succulents and things like that, you know, aloe plants. So I thought, you know what, like every time I come to the store, I always buy, I just crap half the time that I don't even need, right? Stupid stuff. So I'm gonna start buying like one of these plants like each time I come, and then we can have a bunch of these plants in our house, and we can have them, you know, in the kitchen window counter, and we can have them on our island in the kitchen, and, you know, like in the little, I put them behind me. Oh, I also bought a plant because the plant behind me, I have tried to keep alive for so long. One plant, I mean, it just like grows and grows and grows. That's behind me when I'm filming. The other one, it just like, I could not keep it alive to save my life. So I bought another plant, and today I bought like an ivy plant, and I repotted it in that pot. So if you look behind me, you'll see that now in my other videos. He named him, and he said Earl is my favorite. What rich ones? He left a message. But anyway, no, watch, I'm gonna put LOL, and he's gonna text me. Alex will text me back. Here, I was gonna see if I could find his pictures. Vacation. Why is it not letting me do this? Why is my phone frozen all of a sudden? The pictures are frozen in my phone, and I have no idea why. There.
Pavement must not fall, then grass again.
My audiobook, sorry. I'm trying to find this picture. Oh, that year I had a lot of plants out front. Okay, so these are the plants one year that I bought from the farmer's market. I mean, look how gorgeous those are, okay? Do you see? And they're like $20 to $24 like a bin. I mean, they're gorgeous. And that place doesn't exist anymore. Look at that. Like, I miss those days. Okay. Look at this. This one is pee-pee. Pee-pee right next to the plants. Aww, look at little pee-pee next to all the beautiful flowers. Okay. You guys want to see what our walkway looks like a little bit? Here's what our walkway, because I know I never show it. This is like what our walkway looks like done. All of our plants, our hostas and stuff. Anyway. Oh my god, I have a picture of like our little tree that we used to have out in front of our house. And when they planted it, we used to call it Charlie Brown's tree, and now it's huge. So we started, so I bought Alex 2 of those succulent plants today, and he's like, I'm gonna name them. He goes, did you name them? And I go, no. So he named them. But anyway, so I got him 2 of the succulent plants, and they're real cute, and they come in like little jar. One comes in a little brown. Did I get 2 of those? No. One comes in like this little brown, well, obviously it's wood. This wood like box, and the other one comes in like this little blue and white china glass. It's really pretty. I love plants, and I used to, in my very, very first apartment, I had so many plants, and I just stopped getting plants. I don't know why. It's hard to have, like, with Boo Radley, chews on plants outside. So, you have to watch them really closely, you know, and, so that he doesn't do that, and especially being, like, up against the woods and stuff like that. So to have plants like inside, like we cannot have poinsettias because they're dangerous for dogs, supposedly. But we can't have poinsettias, and if we have them, we have to have them up and on something, so if the leaves fall, they don't fall on the floor. And I'd love to have big potted plants like on the floor and stuff like that, but I don't want the leaves to fall, then the dogs to get them, and so it's hard to have plants in the house. If we're going to have them, they have to kind of be smaller like that, which is totally fine, and I love those plants, so I don't know. I'm going to get some more of those, but I had fun picking them out, and it was interesting because I was talking in my Peterisms video today about being passionate, being creative, and excited about something, and I woke up today, and I just was kind of dragging, and I was tired a little bit. And so I went to Meijer because I wanted to get lotion, and I wanted to get a notebook that I could specifically use for the magic book, which I still haven't started yet. I know I'm 2 days behind, but 3 days behind. But I'm going to start it tomorrow, so I don't know, maybe 4th of July is a good day to start it. I'm reading the introduction. I forgot that the introduction was 30 pages. It's 30 pages of the introduction, and I'm sitting there reading it, and it's kind of about the secret and stuff, and I'm honestly not that excited by it. So I went and I got my notebook today because I know that there's activities that you have to do, and you have to do a daily gratitude list and things like that. So I want a notebook specifically for that. But I also know that you have to put pictures in it because I remembered that. So I wanted one that had a pocket in it. So I went and I got a notebook, just a cheap $2.99 notebook, dedicated just for that magic book. And then I bought some Burt's Bees honey and milk lotion because I used to love that back in the day. And yeah, and then I got those plants. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was just kind of dragging today. I was I got up and I slept in a little bit, and I think maybe I slept too much, honestly. And I got up and I was just kind of I just don't feel like doing anything, and I'm tired. And I went and got coffee, which I still have some coffee in here. I should finish this. I should either finish it or only start getting grandes because I'm not finishing my coffee every night. I'm pouring out the very bottom of it. But so I went to the store, and when I started looking for the plants, and I got real excited about the patio and all this kind of stuff, and I remembered I had all these citronella candles that I had bought at the Dollar Tree or Dollar General last year that are really nice ones. I got really, really excited about it, and I was like, that Jeep little Wrangler right there is $12.9. That's not a bad price. I got real excited about it, and I was like, okay, I am so pumped about this, right? Making my patios nice, and I can sit out there and I can read, and I can watch my shows and just kind of relax out there and stuff. But here's the thing. I had to bring in all the cushions tonight because it was going to rain. It rains so much in Indianapolis that, I don't remember this from the past, honestly. I think our patio furniture that we had in the past wasn't I know it wasn't as nice as what we have now because we got what we have now from Wayfair, and it's really nice cushions, but they just get soaked. I did buy that rain off stuff or whatever it's called. It's that stuff that you spray on your cushions. I got it in the mail from Amazon. I sprayed the hell out of it, but it hasn't rained on the cushions since then. So because we keep on bringing the cushions inside, and we just kind of hide them right by the window or by the door out to the back. So we haven't really seen if they've gotten, soaking wet, 'cause it's easier to bring them in. And tonight I went out there and I was talking to my neighbor. It was so cute. So my new neighbor that moved in, she's probably, I'd say 60 to 65. She's real friendly. And so her dog was out back, and our dogs were out back, and they were kind of all hanging out, and I was talking to her, and she joined a book club in the neighborhood. And I was like, these are the new ones that moved in 2 months ago. And we talk a lot. She and I are out there a lot. And so we're always out in the back. And she's sitting on her back patio. And I'm taking the dogs out and stuff. So we're always talking. And she's like, well, earlier I had seen her when I was coming back from going, where did I go? I can't even remember. But she had taken the dog for a walk. It might have been when I came back from Meijer. And she said, oh, I'm getting ready because I'm going to go to my book club. And I said, you joined a book club already? You just moved to Indianapolis, because they're from another city. from St. Louis, and she said that they just, anyway, I said, you just joined a book club? And she's like, yeah, like right over there at so-and-so's house. And she's like, she has a little book club in the neighborhood, which of course nobody has ever let me know about. See, I always okay. But I wouldn't join the book club anyway. But anyway, I was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, what are you reading? And she told me the book that something tent, the red tent or something like that. And the next one that they're going to read is somebody's key, Suzanne's key or something. I don't know. But anyway, she picked the one for next month. She goes, so don't make fun of it because I picked the one for next month. I said, I'm not going to make fun of any book that you read. And I said, I have a book club, did you know that? And she was like, no. She was like, what are you reading? And I go, or what do you guys do? And I said, well, we're reading A Year of True Crime right now. And she goes, that sounds like fun, but I'd rather go drink wine with the ladies. So anyway, then when she came back, I saw her out back and I said, how was your book club? And she was like, it was fun. She was like, it was like her first time going to it or whatever. And she was like, I had a really good time. And she was like, it was really nice. And I said, oh good, I'm really happy that you had a good time. And it was like crackling lightning outside. And she was like, we're about to have a storm. And I said, I know. And plus everybody in the neighborhood was shooting off fireworks and shooting guns. And like, that's Indiana. I don't know where you live, if it's similar to that. But a lot of you aren't even in the United States. But let me just tell you, I swear the week before and the week after 4th of July, especially the night before 4th of July and 4th of July itself, but people are shooting guns, shooting fireworks. It's all night long. And they're supposed to stop at 11 o'clock, but they don't. Boo Radley is terrified of it. He has we were outside, and I swear to God, every time a firework went off, he went running in another direction. He had no clue what was going on. He thought they were coming to get him or something. Poor little guy. So I brought them inside, and I brought all the cushions inside, and I had watered all my plants. I brought all my plants home and, put the 2 on the front porch and put the 3 on the back porch, and then I watered all of them. And, but I was like praying for like enough rain that they could stay a little damp. So I want to get some more plants. I'm ready to go buy some more plants. I don't know why I just turned around. I was actually going to go to Walmart and see if they had some plants outside and what they looked like. But I haven't seen any at Walmart that were any good. There's a Walmart down here that I can go to too if I want to. There's basically a Walmart in every corner. But anyway. So yeah, that was my day. I had a great day. And Alex and I are just going to hang out all day tomorrow. And then we're going to go to the Carnival Fest, which is where both he and I went to high school. And we're going to go with Sarah and then another friend of his from high school and her husband and daughter and their family. And we're going to all of us go together and we're going to watch the fireworks from Carnival. It's called the Carnival Fest. And they play it to like music. They do like the fireworks to music and stuff like that. So it'll be real fun. I'm excited about it. And then we're just going to relax the whole day. I'm sure I'll make videos tomorrow. And Alex will probably... I don't know, if it's nice, he'll go to the pool. I'll go to the pool if it's nice. If it's not. Last year, we couldn't believe it. There was literally like not one person at the pool last year. I think that was last year or the year before, I don't remember. But we were really surprised that there was nobody there. I can't tell if it's clear outside or not. I don't see stars, I see like planes. But I can't really tell if it's clear. It does kind of look pretty clear outside. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited about tomorrow night. And then tomorrow night, I will stay up late watching more of Stranger Things. And then I'll be sad because I'll watch the whole thing in like 3 days and have it over. The only other show that I do that with is Orange is the New Black, which is coming back. I think it's coming back this month as well. And then this is the last season of Orange is the New Black. But I have... It was at the end and I didn't know it. I have to say, I haven't loved it, like Orange is the New Black. Last season, I actually... 2 seasons ago, I did not love. Last season, when it was around the 2 sister characters that like they introduced a new storyline, I liked that. But if you haven't watched it in a long time, I'm not going to ruin it for you. But like a major character got released last season. So I'm not really sure how it's going to go on. Like whenever they do that, it's always interesting to me. Like, so I love the show, what's it called? Wentworth, the Australian kind of version of Orange is the New Black, but I quite frankly think Wentworth is 100 times better. Wentworth is one of my favorite shows ever. Well, I mean, one of the main characters on Wentworth was murdered in like the end of the 2nd season. And so, second or third season, I can't remember. Now, they've kept it up. They've kept it interesting. Because, I mean, I remember when that happened, I was like, I am not sure I'm going to continue to watch this show. Like, I'm not sure I have any interest in continuing to watch this show. But it's still as interesting as it ever was to me. So I'll probably keep on watching it. Now, you think about that, like, back in the day, like, the very first thing that ever really did that I remember, was the movie Scream, when Drew Barrymore was in the opening scene and she's killed. And you're like, Drew Barrymore got killed in the opening scene of this movie? You know, it was kind of unheard of. And now we see that a lot in shows, you know, like they'll kill off a main character or whatever. What else did they do that on? On Lost, they did that a lot. And you get real attached to a character and then they kill him off. What's the other show that I watch where they did that with a character? Sometimes, in all honesty, like, if that happens, I just stop watching the show. I'm just like, it almost kind of seems like a betrayal to the storyline a little bit to me. I can't remember what the other show was that I watched that happened. I don't know. There's so many shows that I want to see that are out there. It feels crazy that it's the 4th of July. You know, I was saying in my video today that, like my Purisms video, I said that life is really short, it's really quick. And I feel like, while I do feel that way, I also don't feel that way. Like, I also feel like life is kind of long sometimes, you know? And, I mean, it seems like it's been a long time since January. Like, when I think about Christmas last year, like, it seems like it's been a really long time. Like, it's not like Christmas just happened yesterday. It's been a long time. And I'm not complaining, you know? But I also think that I have been just really focused on enjoying the small moments of life and each day, and really enjoying as much of each day that I possibly can. And so I think, like, it's making life seem longer, because it's not like, you know, in the past, I was like, I just said, was like about 10 times. In the past, I would constantly look forward to the next thing, the next trip, Christmas, you know, summer, Stranger Things, you know, whatever it was, I was always looking forward to the next thing that was going to happen. And that was my life. Like, I never lived in the present. You know, I either lived in the past, as far as, like, looking back and being like, oh, woe is me, or I looked for the future, waiting for the next thing to happen that was exciting or fun or whatever, you know? And I don't really do that anymore. Like, I get up and I really, truly try to enjoy each day as it comes. And, I think that's probably been one of the greatest things that I've changed about my life. You know, I don't know. Mostly in the last year, I've really done that. But I would say in the last 5 to 10 years, too, you know? I try not to really, like, live for the next big deal. You know what I mean? These people are having a party. There's like 20, 30 cars there. 30, maybe. A rough estimate. Rough estimate. I've always kind of thought 4th of July was kind of a depressing holiday and you know, this is all perspective. It's like, when I was growing up, first of all, after my parents got divorced, I don't remember before my parents got divorced what we did for 4th of July. But after, I would be with my dad a lot on the boat in Michigan that my dad has, or had, in Michigan. And I remember just kind of like wild and crazy 4th of July weekends up there. But everybody would be up there. It was like Amity in the movie Jaws, you know? It was like that little town of Saugatuck just was like taken over, and everybody was there, and, you know, everybody was docking their boats in the Warm Cove, and my dad and all his doctor friends that had boats up, they all had boats up there, so they would go up there every weekend. But then as I got a little bit older, like, I don't know when my dad got rid of the boat. I think he had it for like a year maybe or two when he and my stepmom were together, and then after that they got rid of it. I think he got rid of the boat when he moved into his house, which was when I was 12. So he would have got rid of the boat when I was 12 because he lived on a lake, and then he had boats out there, so there was no reason to go, you know, up to Michigan. And I can remember I didn't usually do stuff with my dad on 4th of July then. I would do stuff with my mom. And like 4th of July is really like a family holiday, you know, barbecues and cooking out and things like that. And my dad and my stepmom didn't really ever do a whole lot of that. There's a couple years that I went over there, like when I was in like my 20s. And Alex and I actually, one year, God, it might have been our first year that we were together, we went over there with our friend that now lives in Vegas. The three of us went over there and cooked out at my dad's house and sat around and watched the fireworks in the lake and stuff like that. But not usually. They don't usually do a whole lot for 4th of July. And they're usually asleep because my dad goes to bed so damn early. But my mom and I would do stuff, but I don't really remember what we did because we didn't go to the fireworks. One year, I mean, this is as an adult, I would do stuff. My ex and I used to go to the hometown that he was from. He's from Seymour, and we would watch the fireworks down there in Seymour. And then we would go to the Seymour City Pool during the day. Oh my God, do you not love the city pool so much? I love the city pool. It's like ice cold, and you just like bob because it's so cold. So you just sit there and it comes up to like here. Oh my God, I love the city pool. The thing I love about the city pool is that no matter where you go to the city pool, and we have a city pool by us that we go to sometimes. I mean, I haven't been to it in years, but sometimes is years for me. Like if I go every 2 years, that's called sometimes to the city pool. But anyway, the thing I love about the city pool is that they're almost identical no matter where you go, right? They're this Olympic-sized pool with a diving pit, and then the lines, you know, in the pool, it's ice cold because they don't heat it. So even in the dead of August, it's ice cold. And what's it called that you can buy, like oh my God, what's it called where all the food is? You know what I'm talking about? And you can buy like Laffy Taffy and frozen Snicker bars and nachos and all that kind of stuff, and a cold, icy, and all those kinds of things. What is that called? It starts with a C. Why can't I think of the word? Anyway, I love the city pool, and it's cheap. But my ex and I would go down to visit my friends that I just went down there to see, or that I went to the funeral with, and we would go to the Seymour City Pool, and then we would go watch the fireworks that night. And then after that, sometimes we would go like drive to the casino, Argosy Casino near Cincinnati, because that was not too far from them. It was like an hour. Now it's called something else. I don't know what it's called now. But anyway, one year my mom and I and my ex went with Tanya and her husband to the campus at Ivy Tech here in Indianapolis, and we laid a blanket out and had a little picnic while we were watching the fireworks downtown. I feel like Alex and I have done so many different things for 4th of July. You know, last year I think we went to Carmel Fest with his whole family. One year we went downtown and we sat in the middle of a parking lot. That was actually kind of fun. We paid for parking in this parking lot, and we just sat there all of our cars around each other. We also walked around downtown. We have a friend of ours that owns a bar downtown. One year Alex and I and she and her son, we literally sat in their little gate. They have an area that's sectioned off in front of the bar outside. We sat in that and watched the fireworks downtown. One year we sat on top of a building that our friends owned downtown. That was fun. I'm not really big into the fireworks thing. I think they're pretty and all that, but tomorrow night, honestly, if Alex was do you want to just stay in and watch a movie, I would be completely fine with that. And I know that sounds kind of real Debbie Downer, and I don't mean it to be that way, but honestly, 4th of July is more about macaroni salad to me than fireworks. I just don't really care. And my dad is actually, he makes all these jokes about it. He's like, ooh, ah, ooh, those are my favorites. Ooh, I like fireworks. I think they're pretty. I do. I think they're cool to see. You know, it's kind of like magic in the sky, just so to speak, you know, but it's like, I don't know. And then what kills me about it is when you see people that are like recording it. It's, I don't know why that cracks me up, but it's like, are you gonna go home and watch like this video of the fireworks? You know, some of you out there do this too. Are you gonna go home and watch like hours of your recorded video of the fireworks or something, you know? It's like, just be in the moment and just enjoy it. It's like kind of cool to just sit there, you know, and just watch these fireworks. But at the same moment, like, I mean, this is totally me not being cynical or pessimistic. It really isn't. I just really don't care that deeply about all of it, you know? Like, I feel like I've seen it for 40 plus years now that I'm okay if I never see another. It's almost cooler to me to see fireworks when you don't expect them, like at music festivals. Like, Ultra always has huge fireworks, right? Sometimes better than the ones here for 4th of July. I would rather see like fireworks at, you know, a music festival, or fireworks at like, you know, I don't know, sometime that you wouldn't expect them. One time we went down to South Beach. I don't feel like it was for Ultra. It was just some random time, and they were, I think it was like the Miami Fest or something. They were having like, oh no, I know when it was. It was sometime last year or the year before. Maybe it was when we went down there for our anniversary 2 years ago. And it was like the 100th or 50th anniversary of Miami. What's her face was singing on the beach. The one I wouldn't say I can't stand her, but she's not one of my favorites. Gloria Estefan. I don't know why. There's not really a whole lot of her music that I love. But anyway, they're having this huge like Miami Fest. And it would have to be the 100th, wouldn't it? It couldn't be the 50th. But anyway, so they were having this, my lord, there are 9 million people in the streets tonight. In Broad Ripple. Everybody is out. So anyway, they were having this Miami Fest thing, and, what was I gonna say? Oh, and they had fireworks for that. Those fireworks were really, really cool. And they were off the ocean, and it was kind of fun. And we were sitting like out on the street watching it, and that was kind of fun to watch. I really like that guy's shirt. He has like this polo shirt on that has, it looks like it has like this national emblem across it or something like that. It's very cool. So anyway, yeah, people are like darting in and out of the roads. I have not seen Broad Ripple this packed in a long time. It's kind of crazy to me it's this packed the night before 4th of July. I guess everybody will be sleeping in tomorrow. 4th of July day is kind of a big drinking day, you know? I think that's the other reason why I don't love 4th of July. It's a really huge drinking holiday, and I always kind of feel like left out of it. Like Alex tonight, he was like, there's a couple things. I go, what do you want to do tomorrow night? And he was like, well, there's a couple things we can do. And he was like, you know, we can, oh shoot, my windshield is defrosting, or is frosting up. And somebody just told me the other day what to do with my windshield, and now I can't remember what they said. Turn it on defrost, and then turn it up really cold. That's, I think, what they said. Yeah, that's not working. But, ooh, that's a nice car. What is that? Oh, he just ran a red light. That's a Lexus convertible. He sure enough ran a red light. But Alex is like, his friend that he went over to her house tonight, she was like making Jell-O shots because she's having like a party with her like stepdad and the mom tomorrow or something. And, oh no, her stepdad, and, at his house, and like a bunch of people are coming over, and they're gonna, you know, cook out and drink and stuff. And I was like, I mean, she's sweet, I like her, but I'm like not wanting to go to a party where people are just gonna be sitting around getting wasted all day long. That's not fun for me. And so then he's like, or we could go to the Carmel Fest with Sarah and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I was like, is that okay with you? He was like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, I just don't want to like have to, for me, I just don't want to be somewhere like for 10 hours where I don't know a whole lot of people, and then it's just like everybody's getting really drunk, and then I have to sit there and have the conversation with people that are like, they ask you 9 million times, so what do you do? And then, like, they forget that they had a conversation with you 10 minutes later. So what do you do? I'm like, I do my way out is what I do. It's kind of hard when you don't drink, you know, because, like, we don't talk enough about this, I don't think, as people that choose to not drink or in recovery. And if you choose to not drink or you're in recovery, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's like, you deal with a lot of crap, right? Like, a lot of drunk behavior, because you really don't want to be an ass or cause a scene or whatever, because as soon as you, like, if I was to say to somebody, like, dude, listen, I've told you this 3 times, you're not listening to me because you're drunk, like, all of a sudden I'd be the ass, right? Or if I just got up and walked away because I didn't want to have the conversation, I'd be the ass. And then the next day, of course, they'd only remember a part of it, and they'd say to some, you know, like, through the grapevine to Alex, God, Peter was really mean to me last night. Like, what happened? Because they don't remember, you know, so you just sit there and you just take it, right? So then you're having a night of pure misery that's totally not enjoyable, because you're dealing with people that are all intoxicated, which is part of why I don't go out and do all that anymore. I just don't enjoy it, you know? It's one thing to do it every once in a while, and it's one thing to do it and stay out till 12 or 1. It's another thing to go out for 7 hours for the duration. I just, like, that is just not it for me. I have so many different, like, drinks here. I have my coffee, and I have my water and my gold Starbucks cup. But anyway, yeah, like, 4th of July was kind of always depressing for me, because, like, my mom and I, we never went to barbecues. I feel like my aunt and uncle, like, they must have gone and done something that we didn't go do with them, or maybe they didn't really do anything on 4th of July either, but I don't remember, like, us going over to their house on 4th of July. I don't remember that ever. And, like, that's just a holiday. When I look back, that's just a holiday we did not spend with them. And I remember my mom and I, many times, like, just sitting out on the, you know, street, like the front step or whatever, like, listening to the fireworks or, like, lighting sparklers and stuff like that. But my mom, she didn't like anything to do, my mom was terrified of fire. She didn't like anything to do with, like, you know, the lighting of the sparklers or anybody. She didn't like any of that. So we would do it, but she was very scared about it. But it would have to be something like that, and then it was like waving around, okay, we're done. She just didn't like anything to do with fire whatsoever. And she told me one time why that was. I can't remember. They had, like, a fire scare at her house when she was growing up or something like that. But, you know, when you're an only child and you're of a single mother, like, not to make you sad if you're a single mother and you have an only child, but the reality is that's a depressing situation sometimes. I mean, often you're not invited to things, you know? I think people today try to do a better job of inviting a lot of, it seems to me, you know, that people invite more people to stuff. But, like, back in the day, my mom and I can remember a lot of things that, you know, other people would be doing something and we just wouldn't be doing anything. And it would just be us, you know, at home, just the two of us, which was fine. But I just remember them kind of being depressing holidays because we just never really went and did anything on 4th of July. I will tell you one thing I absolutely love about 4th of July, though, is that I love and am obsessed with the movie The Miss Firecracker Contest with Holly Hunter. It is maybe one of the finest movies on the face of the earth. And it was one of her first movies, if not her first. I saw the play in Chicago with my dad when I was a little kid, and then saw the movie later, I think. Or maybe I saw the movie first. I don't know. But Alfre Woodard is in it, and Tim Robbins is in it. It is what's her name? Oh, she's so pretty. I can't think of what her name is. Andie MacDowell. Is it Andie MacDowell that's in it? No, it's not Andie MacDowell. It's, what's that woman? She's got dark hair. She's real pretty, and she plays her sister or cousin or something like that in it. But anyway, they live in, like, this decrepit house. It is so funny. It is one of the most bittersweet, endearing, funniest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. But it is so true life. And there's this one scene when... So, Alfre Woodard, it's like one of her very first movies ever. Holly Hunter... So she's entered the Miss Firecracker contest. It's her last year that she can compete, and she really wants to be in it, right? But of the other girls are like, well, first of all, they're all different looks. And she is like real competitive with this one that she knows is going to win. So she dyes her hair red because of the Miss Firecracker contest, but she's kind of got this reputation in town of being kind of like sleeping around and stuff, you know? So they all look at her like she's never going to win this thing. Well, she hires Alfre Woodard to make her costumes for her because she's like a seamstress, but she makes clothes for these frogs, is what she... You guys, you could not, like, I mean, this is like, you couldn't think this stuff up. It's so genius. So, there's this one scene when she, like, meets with Alfre Woodard, and I've talked about this on here before, too, because it cracks me up so much. There's, like, all these pictures on this mantle. This house is, like, so old and dusty that she lives in, right? And it was, like, her great-granddaddy's house or something. They say it in the movie because her sister comes and is going to sell the house or something, and she's going to have nowhere to go, and the ending of it is so endearing. The ending of it is so endearing, and it's actually about her, like, watching fireworks on the top of this place, and it ends with this very simple moment of her watching and appreciating life. But there's a lot of sadness that happens in it too. But if you ever get a chance to see the Miss Firecracker contest with Holly Hunter, watch it. And one of my favorite scenes is when she's like showing all these pictures to Alfre Woodard on the mantle, and she's like, and this is my Aunt Sally Mae, she's dead. And then Alfre Woodard's like, she's like, and this is my Aunt June, she's dead too. And then this is my uncle, Earl, he's dead. And Alfre Woodard's like, oh. And then Holly Hunter turns and looks at her and she goes, they say we're all gonna die one day, and I believe it's true too. It's just, she's so hilarious in it. Holly Hunter is hands down one of my favorite actresses of life anyway. If you ever got to see the TV show, if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix, you should watch it. I think it's on Netflix, but it's called Saving Grace. And Holly Hunter plays Grace, who is a detective. And in like the opening scene, she hits and kills this guy. She's drunk. She has like a lot of addiction issues. And so she prays. This is so funny, I was just saying Earl, but she prays to God that, like, he help her in this situation. Oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. Okay, she prays to God that, like, he helps her in this situation. She's like, I'll do anything if you help me, right? So she gets this angel named Earl, and Earl wears, like, it takes place in Oklahoma City, and Earl is her angel, and he's like, I can't remember the guy's name that plays him, but he's like, looks like a truck driver, right? And she can't stand him, and he is always teaching her lessons and driving her crazy, but it's always like these interwoven mysteries that are happening too. So like every episode is like a CSI. It's like, a crime show with the backstory of her having an angel. It ends so bizarre, I will tell you that. Like, the series ending, I did not like. I usually, like with Lost, loved it. The only other one that I really hated the ending to was Little House on the Prairie. They blew up the town. I thought it was so depressing. I didn't understand it. I think I was maybe even too young to understand really what was going on about it. I should go back and watch it sometime. But, the ending of Saving Grace. Oh my God, it's 2:20. Yes! It's almost time for Stranger Things. But the ending of Saving Grace is so weird. I did not love it. You know what surprises me is that you would think that a lot of these like whole food places like Fresh Thyme and Whole Foods and stuff would have really, really good plants, but they don't. Their plants are crap. Don't you think that's crazy? I think that's crazy. I was telling Alex when I stopped him on the street, I was like, I got all these plants. He's like, yeah, I know, you told me earlier. And I was like, I go, but now I want more plants. And he was like, you want more plants? I was like, yes, I want my whole patio. I want both my patios just full with plants. Okay, there was this house down the street from us. I wish that I could, I need to take a picture of this house. I wish I could show you guys, but I'm not gonna like, you know, fire right up on them or whatever. But this house is so adorable, you guys, okay? I have never seen somebody take something and just do the best that they can with it. So this little house looks like it's probably like a 2-bedroom shotgun house, okay? 1 story. They have this front porch that like you step up on, like 3 steps to go up to the front porch. It's like white little, take a picture of it because I want to do the exact same thing with my front porch. So you walk up, and then they have this huge, like, you know, like, what do you call it? You know, like the white, it's like the white wood things. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, the fence actually comes up to, like, here if you were standing there. So anyway, not the fence, but the, you know, whatever it's called. I can't think of what that's called, but anyway. So when you look on there, they have these 2 huge, like, rattan rocking chairs, okay? With these gorgeous red cushions, and they're like red and white, like plaid cushions. Adorable. The house is white, okay? And yard impeccable. And it's like in this neighborhood by us that, let me just tell you, that houses do not keep up their yards. I mean, at all. And then in the middle of it is this house that is just absolutely adorable. And they have like, in their tree, they have all these wind chimes and bird feeders and stuff in this tree out front. And it sounds junky, but it doesn't look junky at all. It looks really nice. So, and it's this huge tree that they have that kind of like protects the house. You can't really see it. I drive by this house every day, okay, and I just like look at it. I'm like, God, I would love to just like have that front porch as my own. They have these 2 rattan rocking chairs with ottomans, and the ottomans and the chairs have like this red and white, like, you know, like picnic, like tablecloth. You know what I'm talking about? Fabric. And then in the thing, they have 3 huge, really healthy ferns that are out there. And then they have these plants, like all these beautiful, like red and white plants on their patio. And they have some yellow ones too out there that, like, you know, are all just like sitting over the place. It looks like they have all these plants out there and candles. If you drive by at night, they're always sitting out there. And they have all these candles lit out there because it's like, you know, it has the overhang so they can sit out there if it rains and whatever. And it just looks so cozy. And I drive by there and I'm like, I want that patio. Like, and that patio would be so easy to do. I'm telling you, next year, I thought about it this year, but next year I'm getting rid of that glider. I just am, okay? Mom, I love you, but I'm getting rid of the glider. I'm not going to be emotionally attached to it anymore. And I'm going to get 2 huge chairs and I'm going to get those ferns and I'm going to do it in May. I'm not going to wait. I should just go do it right now. I don't even know why I'm waiting until next year. I could maybe not even be here and then I wouldn't enjoy it. But it's like, I don't know why I'm waiting, you know? But this little house is so adorable. I made a list on my phone of all the things I want to get done to the house and all the things that I need to, like, new things that we need to buy. And I told Alex, I said, we're going to start doing this like month by month. And I said, starting next month, we're buying new, what do you call it? New, bedside tables and lamps and bedding, because we've been talking about doing that forever. And I am tired of putting it off, and we still haven't done it. And I want to buy 2 tables for either side and get rid of the tables that we have now. And I want to buy, well, we have these lamps in my garage that were my aunt's. They're gorgeous. And I said we need to get that done so we can start enjoying the bedroom. And then we need to get like new bedding, because I want to get new pillows and new comforters. Do you guys have a suggestion for comforters? I like keep on getting suggested online about these like zombie comforters and all these different comforters, and I want to buy like something that's new and kind of fun and cool. I'm thinking about getting 1 gray like down comforter and 1, or like a duvet, and 1 white, and putting them on top of each other because our bed is gray. And then getting the nightstands to be, nightstand is the word I was looking for. Getting the nightstands to be like this, like dark wood. I have an idea of what I want. And Alex wants the same thing, so thank God. And getting that done in the bedroom. And then painting the base or the downstairs bathroom. We got to get that done, and putting this mirror up because we have like this flat mirror on there, and I have a mirror in the garage. We have all this stuff in the garage to put up, and we've never done it. We're just lazy about all of it. I'm like, I want all this stuff done by like the time that it starts getting cold outside, like by the end of October. I want to have our carpet redone on our stairs. I need to come in and have somebody give me an estimate on that. I have no idea how expensive that would be. We need to get new blinds for, or new drapes for our back. But I don't really want to do that until fall or winter, because with like the carpet and stuff. Because in the summer with the rain and the dogs tracking the stuff in, we need to get whatever kind of carpet we need to get. Is something that the dogs can, I mean, they don't track dirt into it too badly, but we're going to find something. Projects. I've got all kinds of projects. Do you ever just get real motivated with your projects? My lower back is kind of hurting from sitting in this car. I've noticed that the last couple nights that I've been vlogging, that my back starts hurting really bad. Do you guys want to drive by Walmart with me and see if they have any plants? Walmart back in the day used to have pretty good plants. They just don't though anymore. Now I have the heat turned on for the window defrosted when I turned it up to 74, but who wants to sit in a car that's 74 when it's 71 outside? It's cooler. I wonder if the rain cooled things down. Alex's friend that he was at tonight, they were FaceTiming me, and she lives by a railroad track, and he said, "Can you hear the train?" And I said, "No, I can't hear it, but I love the sound of a train." I walked outside tonight after it rained, and I had been cleaning up. It like all of a sudden just like downpoured, you know. I brought the cushions in, and I was sitting there watching TV, and that's when it was raining. And then I was cleaning up the kitchen. PB would not eat tonight. I don't know what is going on with him. I think honestly that he is so hooked on this like Cheese Whiz stuff that we're giving him for the pills, because he just sits there and looks at me. And like, I went to the store and I got him chicken and rice because he wouldn't eat his canned food. And I made him chicken and rice, and he snubbed his nose at that. And he wouldn't eat. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep on putting it down until you'll eat it. Because if I put it down, Boo and Tucker will just like eat it right up. So I was like doing all that in the kitchen, cleaning up the kitchen and stuff like that, and kind of just going through stuff. And it was raining outside, and when I walked outside, it smelled so good. You know that smell like after a summer rain, when you can smell like the fresh cut grass and like, you know, all of the trees and everything and the flowers. It smelled so good outside. I love that smell in the summer. I swear, if I walk in someplace and they have these chairs that I'm looking for to put on my front porch, and they are on sale, I'm going to see that as a sign that I'm from the universe or my higher power, that I'm supposed to buy them and get rid of that glider. And then that's what I'm going to do. Because now I want them after talking about those people's house. But their house is so cozy. 2:30, a half an hour until Stranger Things. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Do you guys get this excited about a show? Do you remember back in the day? I don't know what just made me think of this, but I remember when I was growing up as a kid, and there would be 3D movies on TV. Do you guys remember this? In Indiana, if you're from Indiana, it was always on Channel 4, which was like a local access station. And So you would have to go to like Hooks Drugs or, you know, like, which is like a CVS today or whatever. But you would have to go there and ask for the 3D glasses. Do you remember that? And then they would give them to you, and it'd have like, they'd be the cardboard ones, and it'd have like one red and one blue on them. And then the movie would come on, and it would be like at 8 o'clock on like a Friday night. They would do it like once a month in the summer. Oh my God, I loved it. And it would always be something like really scary, like, you know, but like it would be like some like 40s movie, like The Thing or something like, or, you know, what's that, The Man That Turned Into an Ant or whatever that was. But do you remember like those days? It was stuff like that. And I remember my mom and I would sit there and we would like watch those movies together. Sadly, because I didn't have a lot of friends that wanted to come over and watch any 3D movie on TV with me. But my mom and I still watched it, so it was still fun. My mom, when I was a kid, I've talked about this on here, but I haven't talked about it in a long time. You know, my mom did the best with what she could. I mean, I think she knew I was a lonely kid, you know, and it would make her sad. She would tell me later, like she would hear me. So we had this like porch. It was like our kitchen, dining room, and then this porch. And, it was like this glassed in, it's not like a screened-in porch. It was like an actual room, and a green carpet and this huge yellow couch. And I would go out there, and we had like a telephone in there, and I would call my friends, and I would be like, you know, like, hey, can you come over and play, or do you want to play, or whatever. You remember, you call people, and they'd always say, no, my mom, like, you know, they'd say like, no, my mom said I can't today, or, you know, no, I just did yesterday, so I can't today. And I can remember, you know, like I would call people and they couldn't play, and I would come back into the kitchen, and my mom would be like, are you gonna go over and do something with so-and-so? And I'd be like, no, like his mom said that, you know, he couldn't play today. And she'd be like, okay, well, what do you want to do? My mom was really good at trying to, I think, entertain me, because she knew that I was a lonely kid, and I think she felt bad. Is this where Walmart is? Yes. I think she felt bad because she used to always say, I felt like I should have given you a brother or a sister. She would say that to me a lot. But, you know, in a lot of ways, somebody said on here not too long ago that the way that I was talking about only child made them want to have another child. And that they didn't really want to have another child necessarily, but whatever. There are a lot of positives about being an only child, okay? There are a lot of things that I really, really loved about being an only child. I think it's, you can't compare the two, because first of all, I don't know what it's like to have siblings. I mean, I just don't know what that experience is like. So I don't know if I would have liked it more, if I would have liked it less. Do you know what I mean? This Walmart looks absolutely dead to the world. Are they closed on 4th of July? Is that what's going on? I guess they kind of probably are. But anyway, so I don't know, like, what experience I would have liked better. But there was a lot about being an only child that I really loved. So my mom, because she wanted to entertain me and she felt bad, I think, and stuff like that, you know, like on weekends when I didn't have friends that could do anything, which was most of the time, and I mean, this is when I was younger, we would like, you know, we would watch, well, when we got a VCR, we would rent movies every weekend on Friday. We would rent movies if I was with her for the weekend, and my dad and I did that too. That was like always the first stop on the way home, was to rent movies with my dad and I, movies for the whole weekend. And my mom and I would do that on Fridays too. We would rent movies, because you would keep movies 2 days usually, so you'd get them on Friday and return them on Sunday. We'd rent like 5 or 6 movies and watch them over the weekend. And my mom would make popcorn, you know, the old-fashioned way, where you would put it like, you know, like out of a glass jar. You put the popcorn, you know, in a pan, and you actually, not microwave popcorn. My mother loved, the last 10 years of my life, I think my mother lived on ice cream and microwave popcorn. She loved microwave popcorn. But, you know, the kind that you, like, actually, like, you know, you cook on a stove in a pan, right? Or a pot. And, you know, then she would get those big chocolate bars, or like junior mints that come in a box, and she'd get different kinds of soda. And then we would have like play money, and she would put it all out on the counter. Concessions, that's the word I was looking for when I was talking about the pool, concession stands. But she would make it like, I used to love those things. I can't remember what they're called. They're the chocolates that had the little white spots all over them. Do you remember those? Those were like my favorite candies at the movies back in the day. I cannot remember what those are called. They kind of come in the same box as like Junior Mints, but I used to always get those when we would go to the movie theater. But anyway, my mom would set it all out on the kitchen island, like we were at the movie theater, and then she would give me money, and she'd say, okay, now what do you want? She'd be on the other side, and she would even crush ice in the Cuisinart to make like crushed ice for like a fountain pop drink. This car behind me is coming so fast. They were just like, it's like an SUV, and it looked like they weren't going to slow down. And so she would make like crushed ice, and then, you know, she put it in with like a straw and like a glass. And we used to also make milkshakes in the blender. I used to love that. They are in a rush, and they are pulling into the hospital. I hope it's not something serious. I think you look at hospitals differently once you've had somebody like in intensive care, you know? And you've gotten those calls when you have to like rush over there. You look at the hospital as a different place. Because kind of in those moments, like the rest of the world could evaporate and it's just you in that moment. I can remember parking in the parking garage, like going to see my mom when, like the day after she had been admitted to ICU. Like I had been there the night before, and then going there the next day, and I ran into a nurse that had been like a close friend of my dad's, and she used to babysit me, like when he would like go out of town for the weekend or whatever, and I was with him, or like a day or two or whatever, she would stay with me. And mostly when I was a little bit older, like 10, when I was like older but not old enough to be on my own. And I like ran into her, and I remember talking to her, but I don't remember what I said. And I remember she was like, so what are you here to see your dad? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, well, why are you here? And I was like, my mom. And I remember just like it being like the weirdest conversation because of me, but I didn't like really know what to say. And you're kind of just like in your head, and I remember later people telling me that, you know, when I would go through that stuff, like when I was going through that, like that they would see me or they would talk to me or we had a phone call. I wouldn't even remember some of it, you know? Or like I would have a phone call with somebody and talk to them, and like they would say something like, well, we made plans to have dinner or whatever, and I'd say, oh, I did? I don't remember. I mean, I would like through a lot of that, just I think I was so checked out. I think that was really my survival instinct, was to be so checked out that I just really... Like, Tanya even said stuff about that, you know? Like, later, in retrospect, she'd say, you just were so, like, kind of, like, numb, just checked out. I went through a lot of changes in that year, you know? A lot of changes. And, you know, I got out of a relationship. I resigned from a long-term 13-year career that I thought I would be at forever. You know, my mom passed away. I moved out of my apartment. I got with Alex. Like, it was a lot of changes in 1 year. And a lot of good changes and a lot of not. I mean, like, I had really never traveled by myself. And that summer, I started traveling, like, a lot by myself. I would, like, on a Tuesday, I would be like, I gotta get out of town. And I would call my friend that lived in Denver, and I would be like, can I come for the weekend? He'd be like, yeah, sure. And I would, like, book a flight on, like, Tuesday evening, and, like, Wednesday I would fly out. I mean, I would be gone till Monday. And I just was like, I can't be here. Like, I did that, like, every other weekend, every third weekend for a long time. That whole summer, I was in Denver a lot. Like, I was in Denver probably every third weekend. I mean, no lie. If it wasn't for him and his now husband, I don't think that I could have got through that summer. Like, I think I had to go away and just check out and be detached from everything. Like, I don't think that I could be present for my, like, emotional healing or grieving during that time in Indianapolis. Like, I don't think I could be here, you know? And I didn't really move into the condo until Alex and I were together and had been together for a while, and he was staying with me. We would go and stay at the condo, and because I was in between, like, the condo and the apartment. Sometimes I would stay at the condo, and sometimes I would stay at the apartment. And I think I didn't really feel necessarily, I wouldn't say safe, but I just didn't feel like at home there. It felt so different to me. It felt so weird. And, you know, when like Alex started staying with me more, we would be over there a lot. And I think he really helped me feel more comfortable there, because then it started seeming like my place or our place together, you know, because he was with me a lot in those beginning. I mean, I really didn't stay there a whole lot until like Alex and I were together and he was staying there with me. I just didn't want to be there by myself, you know? It just didn't feel comfortable to me. My lower back over here is hurting so bad. So I'm almost at the end. Hold on a second, because it's almost at the end of the 23.5 minutes. I got like a minute left. But I don't want to be in the middle of my saying goodbye and then it stops. So I don't think I have got to I've got to actually pull off here and get out of my car and walk around or something, because it is like hurting so bad. But I'm gonna pull into Kroger too and see if they have any plants out front. I should go into Whole Foods and see if they have any out front too. But I don't think Whole Foods did the last time I was there. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Thursday. If you're in the United States, or if not, you still celebrate it, which I don't know why you would. But an amazing 4th of July. And unless you have other plans, like I usually say, don't waste it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. Do something really fun and exciting today and make the most of it. Like me going to look for plants right now. I'm on a plant run. And yeah, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure you look in the mirror and tell yourself that. Make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and you tell them as well. It's important that we say that to people. A lot of people don't hear it and need to hear it. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.